grass to asphalt. Extreme. Duff and Cindy here. We are at North Kyler Regional Park, and we have a pleasantly cool day right now. It's about 70 degrees and overcast, so it's nice to not have to be sweating already. We have the Backfire Ranger X1 and the OneWheel XR along today. Oh, happy St. Patty's Day, yeah.
Yep.
As you can tell, I'm really into St. Patty's Day because I have a lot of green on, and
oh, this is way in there.
We're going to be, instead of drinking coffee, I'm going to drink beer for St. Patty's Day. I'm just kidding, no, I'm drinking coffee.
Look of shock on my face.
Mm-hmm.
Pull my
Yep,
pants
so anyways,
up.
we're going to get padded up and get rolling. The water park is actually open today, March 16th or whatever? 17th? What is today's date?
St. Patty's Day.
17th?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, water park's actually open on weekends now. Wet roads, got to avoid that on your one wheel. Maybe not as much on a one-wheel Pint though, who knows? Cindy's cruising on the Ranger with it, no longer makes a tire scrubbing noise on hard surfaces. Yeah, I did. It didn't bother Cindy. What's that? Okay. So even though you're in the high-speed mode, see, it's easy to cruise slow on the Ranger because it has the better hobby wing speed controller. Right, Cindy? You know what now is a good time to say? Like and subscribe.
I got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, I got it.
You know, Dunkin Donuts, I love it, but it really gets annoying when you get a lid that leaks. I've moved it to different positions and it's still leaking all over me. Damn it. Could be what?
My nerves.
Nerve?
I should have did lotion.
Lotion? Cindy should have done lotion. So yeah, there we go. Water park open. They just replaced all those slides in the off season. But I don't remember them opening for weekends this early in the year. It's cool. I'm glad that they are, but that is not the way they've been operating for quite a few years. Beast. It's pretty good. I mean, that's a deep bowl down there. Yeah, probably a drainage. There's probably a drainage ditch right there. All right, whatever. Cindy and I are tandem off-roading. I do get a little nervous on the one wheel because the grass is a little bit wet. And this tire on wet grass, if you try to power it at all, it's just going to spin.
Sure. For this?
Yeah. All yesterday's video saw that we got a flat in the Dualtron in the back tire again yesterday on the ride, and happy to report that it's already been fixed. As I hoped, it was easier than the first time. Cindy and I are getting extreme. Extreme on the backfire, extreme on the one wheel. Whoa. Sure. Yeah. You have a brace knife. Yeah. Yeah. One wheel Pint. Looks cool. So yeah, the Pint. Okay. So the Pint, yeah, based on its name, Pint stands for pint size, basically. It's a smaller version of the one wheel. It's about 2 inches shorter, and I believe it's at 10% more narrow. Doing that off memory. Has a 700 watt motor. I think the motor strength-wise is very similar to the the XR and Plus. So yeah, the top speed of the Pint is about 16 miles, or 16 miles an hour. Has a smaller battery, of course. Range is about the same as a stock Plus, which they no longer are selling, by the way. 6 to 8 miles, they said. It's lighter, I believe the weight was 23 pounds. Has an integrated handle, which has a magnetic mechanism to keep it retracted out of the way when you're not using it, which is a really cool feature. And it also has an LED light on the top of the deck, so you can actually get feedback regarding your battery level, foot pad sensor detection, and all that kind of stuff, just looking down, because right now on an XR or Plus you cannot get that information. And all those features are really cool. Yeah, and the design is a little bit more rounded, a little bit more polished looking. But what the most shocking thing about the OneWheel Pint is the price. A listed price of $950, almost half the price of a OneWheel XR. I guess that's something that Future Motion was really aiming towards, was to get a device with a price point below $1,000, because that kind of can be, price obviously can be a barrier to entry for some people, a lot of people. So I think it's a really smart business move from their standpoint to try to get the one-wheel experience into more people's hands. I think they have 3 main colors available instead of just blue, which is different. Again, a departure from what they historically have done. And they also have color matching accessories, color matched fenders. That's another thing that they've just released, is a bunch of color matching fenders and bumpers for the conventional one wheel. So they are expanding their horizons as far as allowing people to customize their boards more, which is good. And it's funny, in the OneWheel community, I'm a member of the OneWheel group on Facebook, the OneWheel owners group. There was both positive and negative, a little bit more negative than I think was justified, to be honest with you. A lot of people had a knee-jerk reaction that this was a joke, and they thought that the Pint was a toy and just aimed at kids. And I don't think that's the case at all. And some people have kind of stepped back from that initial negative reaction. But I think the Pint in retrospect is going to be a big success for Future Motion. And my viewpoint is anything that helps the company, at least hopefully, leads to more R&D on their flagship product, on the XR, to make that bigger, better, faster, stronger. So yeah, I think it's a win-win. I think people that were initially overly negative, Jimmy Chang, they might reevaluate that viewpoint in a year or two and see what comes to be. And they had a nice deal if you ordered the Pint right after the announcement. They threw in a mud guard, free shipping, and a couple of throw-ins as well. So I think it's going to be a well-received product despite the initial negativity by some. It's Cindy's tired, so she's doing a couple things with the car. I'm just going to ride around for a few more minutes. So what was I talking about? Oh, the Pint, yeah. Pint looks cool. Feel free to leave your Pint thoughts and ideas below. I mean, I'm already thinking of scenarios like they're supposed to be opening a employee fitness center on our government campus, which is probably, I don't know, maybe a quarter to a half mile away from my office. And I was thinking, man, if I had a Pint, I could just keep it at the office and hop on there, go to the gym, and ride it back. It'd be kind of cool. But I think it's going to be a much more commuter-friendly vehicle. It's easier to carry because it's smaller, lighter, built-in handle. So, yeah, definitely not a off-road cruising beast, I don't think. They mentioned, but there actually are plans to build a park similar in size and scope to this, and I think technically slightly bigger, out by me, probably within 3 miles of where I live, or where we live. So yeah, that would be kind of awesome, including a water park, actually, a water park as well. So I think they're talking about breaking ground on that late this year. I have to double check. I'm sure it'll be, you know, 3 or 4 years until it will be completed, but if it does happen, that would be an awesome addition to our immediate surroundings. So extreme! Grass to asphalt, extreme! Extreme. So stopping there just reminded me, one other feature about the Pint that I forgot is it has something called Shore Stop technology. And what that basically means is what reminded me is me stopping there. With the OneWheel XR, one of the hardest things for beginners and even people that aren't such beginners is sometimes it's a little bit of a pain in the ass to stop on an XR and dismount, which requires you to relieve pressure on one of the 2 foot pad sensors in the front. It kind of requires you to do an awkward heel lift or toe lift while maintaining the board in a more or less stationary position. With the Pint, you have an option. You can turn it on or turn it off, but you have an option to stop by simply coming to a stop and then just backing up like a couple inches. As soon as it senses that reversing direction, it shuts off. So the thought process is that's a much easier technique for someone to master. So that's a good idea, and I'm curious if if it's something that is hardware dependent or something that they might actually offer on the XR and Plus as well. I don't know, but yeah, it's a good idea, I think. I am weaving in and out of caterpillars on the road. For whatever reason, there's a ton of caterpillars on the path right now, and I'd rather not smash them on my Vega tire. Only riding in delirium, by the way. I've not hit tilt back yet. Don't need to. Checked, I'm coming up on 250 miles on my OneWheel, which all in all is not that much compared to some riders out there. Not that much at all. You know, the fact that I have so many PEVs, my riding time gets spread between them. I try to do it more or less equally, so I'm surprised I don't have more mileage on the OneWheel, to be honest with you, but it's been 250 miles of fun, let me tell you that. Random segue, I wanted to mention with the Dualtron also, when I changed the tube yesterday, I did install slime this time. The puncture was a pinhole that would have been fixed by slime. Yeah, slime would have definitely handled that issue, so I probably put about 4 ounces of slime in there. I haven't done the front tire yet. I guess I should. But I'm a slime believer now. After 3 years, I'm finally a slime believer. Definitely have to keep your head on a swivel here. Just waiting for someone to pull out without looking. Happens quite often. For you loyal live stream viewers, just a heads up, I did mention at the end of the live stream last week, I wasn't sure if I was going to be having it in 2 weeks or not on the 24th, but I checked with Cindy. She's good with it. I'm going to have my regularly scheduled live stream Sunday, March 24th at 8 p.m. So mark your calendar. Cindy was making productive use of her time shopping on Victoria's Secret. That's good. It's good to get stuff done. So I'm back. It's a fun little ride. Cindy, did you have fun?
I had a great time.
Great time. So if this is your first time visiting the channel, please consider subscribing. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a big like. Tell me what you think about the OneWheel Pint below, as well as your other comments, suggestions, ideas, and thoughts. Hope you're having a good weekend. That's all I have for you for now. Until next time, Duff me out. Do you have any snappy one-liners?
No.
No?
Happy St. Patty's Day. Just a quick note. My mother's Aunt Nadine, which is my great aunt, passed away this morning. She was a beautiful soul. And I just thank the world for allowing her to be in my life.
Okay.
Sorry.
Alright. Duff me out. And Cindy. Good farm chick.
Bye.